We must do our part to help our local communities to once again thrive. We must focus our attention on the small businesses that are the fabric of our great nation. SureUp is a network of small business owners, their employees, and local consumers all working in unison to support each other. By creating incentives for consumers to think local before considering regional and national providers to fulfill their needs, we create local job opportunities and rebuild our communities. In addition, through AI-driven tools and machine learning, in just 5 minutes a day, SureUp assists business owners in improving their social media presence, which enhances their visibility among consumers and levels the playing field so that local businesses can better compete with large, name-brand online competitors. When local businesses leverage the SureUp platform, full-time and part-time employees, whether W-2 or 1099, are rewarded with a variety of voluntary perks and member benefit options. These include discounts on the things people do every day, access to low-cost, subscription-based telehealth and teletherapy, discounted prescription drug plans, connection to exclusive Prosper resources, and so much more. All for less than the cost of a cup of coffee each day. The Jumpstart Marketplace is here to support the health and wellness of individual employees, as well as the health of businesses in the local communities in which we live and work. We're all in this together, so join us as we reinvigorate our local community and improve the physical and financial health of working America.
Hello, and welcome to Cane Roots Art Gallery, Callaloo Network Culture TV, and Tempo Networks. We are happy to present Art Over Bush Tea, and today I have a co-host to introduce me. I started out by myself, but we are now introducing my co-host, Patrice Deshabert, and our featured guest artist today is Taiwanese American artist, Quay Diamond. Welcome both of you, Patrice and Quay. I'm happy to have you in Art Over Bush Tea. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Patrice, are you there?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
And Quay?
Yes.
I'm here.
Wonderful.
Nice to see you.
Okay, good to see both of you also. The thing that brings all of us together here in St. Croix, and Patrice, you are in Atlanta right now, and Quay, you are in North Carolina today?
No, I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida, but I know Anthony had told me that you commute to two home locations, but okay, you're in Orlando. But yes. No matter where we are, the thing that will continue to bind all of us as we do Art Over Bush Tea is our sharing in terms of how we celebrate tea. Today, I am doing lemongrass tea with peppermint. And why don't you share what you're having today, Patrice, for tea?
So today I'm having also some lemongrass tea. And as you know, there's a Thomas Bakery in St. Croix. I went to the Thomas Bakery location here in Atlanta to get my bush tea. And it's very, very fruity. I'm not sure what other herbs they may add, but it is a lemongrass bush tea and it's very, very good.
Wonderful. And Quay, I know you come from a long history of tea making, probably tea ceremony. I'm not sure about that part. You'll have to correct me. But I know tea making and several different types of tea produced from Taiwan. And why don't you share what tea you're drinking today with us?
Okay, this morning, and I'm drinking the oolong tea. Okay, when you pour the tea in the glass, then you smell the tea. Smell the fragrance of the tea, then you pour it to another glass, then you drink the tea. After you drink the tea and you go back and smell the cup. And that reduce yield and very, very soothing. That's part of, the tea summer. It's a very simple way and relax yourself.
Oh, so that's oolong tea. Am I
Oolong
correct when I'm oolong tea? Is that spelled OOLONG? Could you make sure that I'm spelling it correctly?
That's
Oolong
correct.
tea?
Yeah, oolong tea, yes. That's correct.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we have 3 different types of teas that we are partaking in today. And Quay, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about other teas from Taiwan? If there are maybe 1 or 2 teas or tea making or tea processing, just give us a brief view of tea making from Taiwan.
Certainly, yes. Taiwan is very traditionally from the ancient Chinese China. They come to Taiwan and they have tea farm, okay, and then certain spot of the tea farm, and they create a different type of the tea also, and they make the tea with different tastes, different prices, high quality or low quality of the tea, depending on where you plant those teas. Example, if you plant the tea right in the very high mountain, and because the high mountain have a lot of cloud and the mist, so, and also, with this face to the sun, and then the tea come out and make it much better, more healthier, and don't have any pollution of the tea. So when you pick up the tea, okay, and then most of the tea they will pick, 1 heart and 2 leaf, and on this way, and you make the tea and make the tea all the difference. And also, when you make a tea and they have a certain level of the fermented, and then you bake it, when you bake the time, make a level of the tea. Each time, okay, you bake it longer, and the tea color will be more deep. And you bake it shorter, the color will be a little bit lighter. So each level of the color of the tea and make all the tea and taste different. So right now I'm going to show you, okay, different tea, and then you will have to use the different part. Okay, like right now I drink the oolong tea. The oolong tea, you will have to use a ceramic, the pottery pot. But if you want to drink a red tea or green tea, and you will have to use a porcelain pot. You see, because the tea's level, okay, so that they can breathe differently in the pot. And then when you pour out the tea and make a taste, totally different. And another thing, okay, when you make the tea, you will not let the tea sit in the pot too long. And they will make the tea taste totally different. You will not taste, original tea, the frequent and the taste come out. So, any other question you would like me to add it up?
Oh, that's amazing. And thank you so much for that very elegant. And it's not, besides elegant, it's just such a simple, elegant, yet formal ceremony that you're presenting about the tea process. I really appreciate you for sharing that with us as you bring tea to us on Art Over Bush Tea. I wanted to move into, now that we've settled into what we're going to do with the tea, I wanted to ask you, Quay, what style of art did you identify with when you started painting? There's Cubism, there's Realism, there's Impressionism, there's all these isms in a Eurocentric type of art. But how do you identify your style?
currently my style is East meet with West. Okay. When I first started, I would start oil painting. Then after that, and then I started Chinese brush painting. And then when I moved to the United States, and then just self-taught and branding, and just time to time, then I created my own way, my own art, so that I used the very brilliant and very strong Oriental color, use the Oriental style, okay, and then mix with the East and the West, all combined together. You can see all my paintings, okay, and the color is very, very strong. However, it's not overwhelming, and it's still you feel it very relaxed and very, nice to see it.
That's so interesting to me, Quay, that you are self-taught. Can you tell us how you were self-taught in the art of Chinese brush painting? And tell us what the Chinese brush painting, what does that mean? What is the difference?
Okay, the Chinese brush painting, okay, when you started, you have those ink stick, okay? Then you grind the ink stick with the ink pad. And this is one of a very, very tradition in the Chinese brush painting to start. That's where when you grinding on your ink stone, okay, and same time you exercise of your arms. Also, and then you might was think about it. You look at the piece, the paper or the silk, what you're going to use, and then you use that and create it after that, and you start doing the painting. So what I'm going to say is that, see, when I started, okay, when you use mostly you use the rice paper. So I process the rice paper. When you finish your painting on the rice paper, and the paper is very wrinkled. So when I finish painting the rice paper, okay, the next process, this is all still ancient process. And then you will use another piece of the strong, very strong, the rice paper, and then wet mold it to your painting. And that way they will last for long, ever, and then, preserve it, and you don't have to worry about it. You can frame the painting. And then I study, also I painting some on the silk. I'm going to show you the silk, what I use. This is the silk I use is material. I use the silk, then I stretch the silk like a canvas. And then after that, it will look like that.
Mm.
And then I paint it on the silk also. So you can look at it, or the painting up back here is a painting on silk. Because the silk is translucent, okay, and you can put whatever behind that, and then reflect what you behind that, and make a difference. However, this is just East meet with West style.
Mm.
Quay?
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break, and Patrice, we're going to take a quick break. This is Sonia Dean and Patrice Deschabert for Cane Roots Art Gallery and Culture TV, broadcasting live on Callaloo Network, Cane Roots Art Gallery, and for reaching you through Tempo Networks. Please visit us on www.canerootsartgallery.com. And we're back to you with my co-host Patrice Deshabert and the lovely artist Quay Dorman. Thank you very much for being with us today at the Cane Roots Art Gallery. So Quay, I wanted to ask you, you began talking about the process of using fine silk and rice paper. I think that's where we left off. Would you like to continue talking about that?
Okay. Well, it's, this is a very, very traditional and Oriental art style. That's the reason why, I use the material. I continually use Oriental styles material, like a silk is an ancient process anyway, and then you stretched it and treat it and before you do the painting. So there's differences. Painting on silk and the painting on the rice paper is a totally opposite process. Okay, when you're painting on silk, you process the silk first before you do the painting. Okay, then if you painting in the rice paper, you painting in the rice paper first, then you process it after painting. That is totally different. You see the difference, on the silk and the rice paper, and I just love it. Both of the process, and another thing is she actually does and painting on silk. Okay, and then I have a painting on the silk, and also painting in the rice paper, and combined together. And those will be my own creation, okay? Because the silk is translucent, it gives that three-dimensional qualities. If you will look at that, this piece painting, you see that behind that rainbow scene, okay? That is a painting on rice paper. In front of the lady's sleeper was a painting on silk. So there was difference. Sometimes I will painting, a landscape behind the landscape on the rice paper and the subject in the silk. And they really give you this distance of a look at a very unique and different. And
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about Japan, and I want to tell you, I will never drink tea the same way again. I will definitely smell it and savor it. And I think of earlier when you mentioned, I was going to say, I think of wine. The art of drinking wine is the way you mentioned that you drink tea. And my tea set here is was passed down from my father-in-law, Mario Deshabert, and it's actually a Japanese teapot. So I want to ask you about Japan. I know that you did your formal training in Japan after being self-taught in Chinese brush art for many years. You went to Japan. So I'm curious to understand, you spent 12 years, I understand, in Japan. And what was it about Japan that you wanted to go there to learn formal techniques of the Chinese brush art and other types of art?
In Chinese brush painting, okay, it's the beginning of that is very, very, I often explain that to the people, okay. When you paint in Chinese brush painting, okay, in this first start, okay, you will go by the stroke. You learn all different strokes. Once you learn all the different strokes, then you can paint like anything, just like you writing the calligraphy on the rice paper and all that. See, in Chinese, okay, when they will see you painting, they will look at the stroke, how your stroke come out, and they will automatically they will know how good you are. It just, but however, in Chinese brush painting, you must do it just by every day. And almost just like you try to learn, you play the piano, you have to practice every day. The same way in the brush painting, and you do have to practice almost every single day. So that way, and they will keep you up, and also and you can continue doing the good work.
And then you mentioned that you went to Japan, right, to learn.
Yes, I did. That's the reason why with almost 11 years in Japan, okay, and I have a very, very high influence for the Japanese art. That's the reason why, sometimes you see my customer look at my art, they will say, this is Japanese art. I said, well, no, it's combined Taiwan, Chinese, Japan, and America, all combined together. And because of the place you stay, it's very funny because where you go up, where you do your art, it automatically reflect in your art. It's just like, even so, like when you look at the art, okay, and then the color you use and, how you feel that day, and you will reflect on your art. If you are, mostly, and you will feel peaceful, happy, and then automatically reflect in your art when you do the painting. If you someone is have a difficulty day or something, and the color will show that. It's I don't know. That's a funny way to explain to that. It is true, And any other thing is, because I love it, just simple, peaceful. It's just, there's another thing, Oriental art, you see, they leave a lot of white opening. It just main subject, but there are more difficult to paint on that. Just a simple, short, simple subject, and you like a Western art, you just color all over the place, and it's totally different. So make it actually, when you try to leave a certain white spot, not painting spot, and more hardened, you painting on the whole thing. That's the difference.
Quite interesting. Thank you for that.
Quay, I wanted to ask you, with the influence of your training, your self-taught training, all influenced by Asian culture and Asian art and the style of producing art through an Asian influence, having come to America, has anything about American art and the style of any American artist, has that have any influence on you? Did that have any influence on you? Or did it make you look at things differently, having had your first influence being Asian culture, Asian art?
The Asian art, see, actually, and I am pretty much, I studied, from in Taiwan to Japan, and then from Japan and come back to United States, all those process. And somehow it's just going on me. It's not necessary, I like a certain style, but I tried it and I said, well, that is not for me. It is coming you self when you reflect from your mind, from your heart. When I do the painting, yeah, it's somehow something like that. Okay, I also doing the impressional landscape. Impressional landscape. See, when I do I love nature. I love the flower. I love the bird. And which is the beautiful color of every piece of the painting. And that made me so happy when I look at it, and it make you feel so good. Okay. But when sometimes, artists is very funny, if you do same old things constantly every single day, and it bothers you. So sometimes I will go ahead, I didn't do traditional Chinese landscape style. I studied that, but however, I thought I will have to create my own style. So sometimes I will just pull myself out, okay, doing the impressional landscape, and I put my own color in there. See, first thing that I will pour the ink in the paper or silk. Then I use that guiding me to create a piece of art. And I love that. And that way, so when I do the flower, bird, okay, very tight painting, then I do the impressional landscape and then balance my level and one come out real good. And I enjoy every single piece of it.
Fantastic. We're going to take a quick break, and then I think I would like Patrice and myself to start identifying some of the works that were very special to us when we were introduced to you. So on our break, this is Sonia Dean and Patrice Deschabert for CaneRootsArtGallery.com and Culture TV, broadcasting live on Callaloo Network, broadcasting on Tempo Networks. Please visit us on www.CaneRootsArtGallery.com. See you soon. We're back. This is Sonia Dean with co-host Patrice Deschabert and Quay Dorman. Welcome back, everyone. Patrice, I think you wanted to particularly talk about one of the pieces that really moved you. That is.
Yeah,
go ahead, I'll let you talk about that.
That's right, Sonia. I am so moved by the piece, Quay. If you see on the screen right now, we're showing your bamboo piece, and I love bamboo trees and the leaves and the structure of the bamboo tree. And we see the birds. We see two beautiful birds sitting on the tree. We see very faintly in the background some water and maybe islands or pieces of land from a continent. I'm not sure where we are in the painting, but I would love for you to tell us about it and what was your process and what was your inspiration for painting this one?
Very good. This is a very, very unique piece, okay? the bamboo, usually bamboo mostly is the green and the brown color, but I created all different colors on the bamboo. And then you can see, the bamboo, you will see, the bigger bamboo shows as the older one. And then you have an old bamboo and middle-aged bamboo, like 10 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. And then you also, see the bamboo leaf coming up there is just a new leaf of a bamboo. And you see all the processes here. I use 2 different Chinese painting style, okay? And you will see the Kano, that's the Eastern Kano, and that is a very, very technical style. They call the elbow style. There's you curving, And Chinese painting have 2 different styles. See, but this piece, you can see the 2 different styles. You see the bamboo leaf? There's a 1 stroke. Every stroke, okay, you brush it, the brush, you put hand, the brush, with the water and all different color, and just 1 stroke, they already reflect the color of the leaf and the light and the, lightning or, dark or light on the bamboo leaf. And however, the bamboo leaf is just a free load stroke. Okay, that's 2 different type of Chinese brush painting. Okay, elbow stroke and a free loading stroke. They call the meat. It's just 1 free loading. Okay, and then we looking at the background of that piece is a landscape. A paint that is painting. Okay, the front of the bamboo and the Kano is painting on silk. Then behind that landscape is painting on rice paper. So like before I mentioned that, okay, because of the silk is translucent, you can see through. That's how I created that style and give it that distance of the piece painting. It's a very, very unique piece of art. And you have a good taste.
I love it. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I see a boat in the background, Kue. Is that a fishing boat? What type of boat is it? And where are we?
The fishing boat. It's the fishing boat. It's just, you can create a see that like that, it's just you use your imagination, create a different style in the background. So
and
I like
the landscape.
I'm sorry.
I was asking, is the landscape
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was asking, is the landscape a particular location? Are we in Japan? Are we in China? Where are we?
No, that is it's no specific place. Actually, it's in my, because it's in the summertime. Most of the time, I spend all the time in North Carolina, and I just use that's another way I created the East meet with the West. Okay, I put 50% of the Oriental landscape style, 50% of the Western landscape style, and make that background. It's no specific place. It's just a imagination place.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful. I really now that you've explained the different ages of the bamboo in the piece and then the boat, I almost feel like it's a journey that whoever is in that boat or has passed through that water has done it on so many different generations. Water has a very important place in art in terms either of taking a journey, going home, or coming to a new place. And the fact that you have a boat on water and the bamboo symbolizing the different ages just ties in so many different things in terms of how we each see our own family, our cultures, in, from grandchild to parents to grandparents to great grandparents, and understanding that journey that each generation has taken. So for me, as someone who has been an art collector, that piece, now that we've talked about it, it's very symbolic. So now that I look at it, for me, it's even more touching and very much meaningful. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. Patrice, you had something to say on that piece about the markings.
That's right. Yeah, when we talked earlier, Sonia, I was quite curious about the markings on the painting. So, if you could tell us, I see sort of like a red stamp in the corner. Is that part of your signature? What does that mean?
Okay, you see the signature. Okay, the black ink writing that Chinese character. Okay, that is my name, Guizong. That will be my name. Then you see the red ink. The red ink is name seal. Okay, in Far East, in China, Japan, Korea, or Taiwan, any Asian country, and that is a very important piece of the represent yourself. Okay, like the United States, if you go into the bank, you write into the check, and all you have to do is just sign your signature, and they identify signature match. That's it. But in Asian country, okay, and you sign your signature, not official until you put that name seal in that check. And the name seal is, have to match with the bank, just like match your signature. That is one of your best signature over your life. Also, that is a very unique of the question, because the name seal, okay, it's like if you have that name seal, if you bought that piece of painting, and you can put your name seal in that piece painting, put which spot you want to put on, and that represent you own that piece painting, like a second owner. So sometimes if you go to the museum, you will see the old Chinese paintings. You see the seal all over the place. You can see all over the spot. Then you can trace back how many people have been on that piece painting. So that, and also you will see, okay, the name seal. See, what I'm doing, the authors doing that is the name seal. I have so many different sizes of the name seal, because when I put the name seal on, and then they will have to use that balance with the painting I do. If I do the big painting, my seal is bigger to balance over that piece painting. If it's a small painting, I use a smaller seal. So that's the difference of that name and name seal.
Quay, I wanted to have the opportunity to show some of our other favorites, because you have such an incredible body of work. And actually, Claire just sent in a beautiful post on Facebook. Claire said, beautiful works of art. I think that's what that just showed up on our camera. But right now we're looking at an image of, I'm not sure if they're lilies, and then Patrice and I are there are two pieces that are very relatable to us. And I think they're pieces that have very large green leaves. Is that correct, Patrice? They're the pieces with the large green leaves that we like, because I was born in Guyana, and Patrice, you can share where you were born, but I think those pieces just resonated with us.
Yes.
So
the one we saw before looked like tulips, and the one on the screen looked like the lilies.
yes.
But there's two that I really love, which to me reminds me of a banana leaf. And I'm from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. My dad is from Trinidad, my mom from Dominica. So just all sorts of Caribbean influence. And your paintings, like you said, Asian inspired, Western world inspired, but also really relatable to Caribbean art. So we love that.
Like for example, on this one with the purple flower, the leaf of it almost reminds me of the leaf of an anthurium. Anthuriums were is one of my favorite flower that I've seen in Barbados, I've seen in Guyana, and it has a beautiful red flower in the middle. But these leaves almost remind me of the leaves of anthuriums. But we also have the big green, the ones with the big green leaves, with also the storks. Let's see if we can get those up for our viewing audience. Those are the closed tulips. Here it comes. That was it. Yes. The with the large green leaves, those are the ones that are most relatable to Patrice and myself. I think you'll get a chance to come back to it.
There we are.
There it is. When I look at your work, it puts a smile on my face. Your work brings me calm.
Yes, I'm quite intrigued by that one as well. And they remind me of, I think they're flamingos. And I do love those leaves and the water. Anything with water, I'm always drawn to. And the one we saw previously reminded me of the banana leaf. But if you could tell us about this one, Kuwait, what are we looking at? This is flamingos, correct?
This flamingo, it's in Florida, it's a very common bird in Florida. Although you can see that Florida is almost like a tropical island. There's a lot of tropical plant in the Florida, and then flamingo is the brilliant color of the feather. It's just I love it, and then especially when they are just right in the the shade of the water and with those banana leaf and wave, and really, really, relax you, and you don't even think that it's summer, hot summer day. You just really enjoy that.
I think one of the things Patrice wanted to talk about as we're getting to the end of our show today, I know Patrice had a very important question about the availability of your work. Patrice?
That's right, Sonia. One of the pictures that we saw earlier, Kenny can pop back to that one. We saw me standing surrounded by her art. And to me, it looks like she may have been standing at an art fair. So, Kue, could you talk to us and tell us about where we can find your work today? And if you took your work on the road, just tell us about where we can find your work.
Okay, see, I never put my never have experience to put my art in the gallery because all those years I have been doing the arts festival. I doing the fun art show for over 30 years. So you will see this display. This is all in the fun art show. You can find me in the fun art show, but and I think it's in the future this year. But of course, last year was a pandemic. It's a whole year you don't have an art show because But this year, and I will be right in Orlando. They have a huge one art festival. They call the Winter Park Sidewalk Art Festival. And that is a very, very unique way to purchase my art on the all different art festival.
Okay, thank you.
And you have a website as well, Quay?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. Yes, I did have a website, graceart.com. That's my, yeah, graceart.com. And you can go to my website and then see that.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to say to you, keep being inspired, because what you bring to us, Quay, from what I've seen, I don't own a piece of yours. I can't touch it, but right now, due to the pandemic, but from what I've experienced since meeting you, keep being inspired, keep producing your work. It offers so much to all of us who have seen it in the past couple of weeks. I know particular me and Patrice, we felt the same way. I don't know what keeps inspiring you, but whatever it is, keep doing it. You're doing a fantastic job. I want to say be well, and we're grateful for you to be with us. And thank you. And Patrice, it was wonderful for the first time having you as a co-host. I look forward to our next show together, which you will be bringing us from Atlanta, from your side of the world. So that will be a different twist. So we'll be going from St. Croix to Atlanta as we get to our next show. Again, thank you for being a part of Art Over Bush Tea. Look forward to it again.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Quay. Thank you, Sonia.
Small business is a part of all of us each and every day. It's where we eat, it's where we shop, it's where we go to meet our friends and colleagues. In the wake of COVID-19, our small business community desperately needs our help. We must do our part to help our local communities to once again thrive. We must focus our attention on the small businesses that are the fabric of our great nation. SureUp is a network of small business owners, their employees, and local consumers all working in unison to support each other. By creating incentives for consumers to think local before considering regional and national providers to fulfill their needs, we create local job opportunities and rebuild our communities. In addition, through AI-driven tools and machine learning, in just 5 minutes a day, SureUp assists business owners in improving their social media presence, which enhances their visibility among consumers and levels the playing field so that local businesses can better compete with large, name-brand online competitors. When local businesses leverage the SureUp platform, full-time and part-time employees, whether W-2 or 1099, are rewarded with a variety of voluntary perks and member benefit options. These include discounts on the things people do every day, access to low-cost, subscription-based telehealth and teletherapy, discounted prescription drug plans, connection to exclusive Prosper resources, and so much more. All for less than the cost of a cup of coffee each day. The Jumpstart Marketplace is here to support the health and wellness of individual employees, as well as the health of businesses in the local communities in which we live and work. We're all in this together, so join us as we reinvigorate our local community and improve the physical and financial health of working America.
We're back. I'm back, and Patrice is back with me, my co-host. So Patrice, let's share a little bit about our experience with Quay and her artwork. I know you and I are equally moved by it, so why don't I let you begin talking about it?
You know, I am wearing this dress filled with flowers just in honor of Quay's work. I think it's just so calming, as you mentioned before. It can fit into any home or any office space. anywhere beautifully because it can speak to anyone. And you really just don't even know sometimes how you can be transformed by a piece of art. Like it can really relax you. It can take you to another space. And that's exactly what her art does for me. It's so calming. It's so beautiful. It's so soft and so pretty. And I was really, really intrigued by the one stroke technique of the bamboo leaf. I mean, there's no going over it and no mistakes made because you've got to get it right in that one stroke. And you can't see it now, but I have some bamboo around me as well. So that piece really speaks to me. So I will have to be following up with Kuwait to see how I can actually own that piece because I am just so in love with it.
I know we were, when we were talking about the process, there's so many intimate processes in terms of doing this type of painting. Because in the types of paints, the mineral and the vegetable dyes, which is also a process of completing that type of work. I remember also too, you've had an opportunity, I'm not quite sure if you met Naiaris, but you had an opportunity when you visited St. Croix in the gallery, you saw Naiaris's work. And those are all watercolor. And I remembered her saying to me once that painting in watercolor is unforgiving. And I'm getting by that. It's like, if, again, like Quay said, it's like, you make that, however it's controlled or however you make that stroke, it's finite, or you just start all over again, I'm assuming. But watercolor also is unforgiving in terms of how you're able to put that paint on the paper. And when I look at Naiaris's work here, it starts out from white paper, and then she creates the space on the white, from the white, and then the colors fill out. So I didn't get a chance to ask Quay in the process where the color starts, but that's something, we can ask her, in a phone call to her. But there are sometimes for certain types of painting, or I don't know if all artists experience this, maybe it's not just watercolor, but there's a process of it being some sort of control in order to make the creation. And maybe that's what ends up coming into our home in terms of what goes into it, in terms of its strokes, its creativity, the warmth, the beauty is what we bring into our home, or what the artist puts into the work, we take it to our home. And that's what we live with, because everything that I've bought and that I have in my home and I put it on my wall, there's an absolute connection to it.
So yes, I did not get the chance to meet Naiaris. And show one, where you interviewed Naiaris, I was so moved by her stories of how she became interested in art and just naturally drawn to painting. And I remember some of her pieces that you have in the gallery are quite different from Quay's, where her pieces are softer. I feel like Naiaris's paintings are strong, but you see the women and the faces look very strong and very determined. But then she does have a few where it's about dance, and there's some strength in their movements, but there's some softness to the fabric as well. And she does a good job of weaving two types of emotions together in her work. So I do hope to see more of Naiaris's work in the future. But yes, thanks for reminding me of that. And I think it's a beautiful comparison, and we can learn so much from these artists, in the Virgin Islands, in the States, in Asia, around the world. And this is exactly why we love culture and culture TV. And what you're doing, Sonia, at your beautiful gallery recently opened in St. Croix, Cambridge Art Gallery. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. I also feel that as we promote art and art over Bush Tea, it's as we bring art into people's lives, it's to make that connection. And you're absolutely right. We will continue to make those connections and have artists around the world just be happy with the fact that, we're getting their lives through their creations out there. I look forward to many more artists joining us from your Atlanta base, from the Caribbean, from other parts of the United States, from Asia, South America, Latin America. I thoroughly am excited about the journey that we're going to be on as we make this happen. So, Patrice, we're in this together, and be ready for the ride. You know me, my motto is step, leap, the net will appear. So if you've got your net, I already have mine. Let's go.
We've got some great artists in Atlanta, so I can't wait to share them with you. And I'll be journeying to their studio to get some beautiful footage and being able to share their process as they're actually creating art. So I can't wait to share that with you.
Yeah, should we give them a peek of the name, or we'll just let them be surprised?
Let them be surprised.
All right, that's good. So we'll be coming to you in another 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Yes. So every other Saturday, you'll see us here with Art Over Bush Tea. And I learned so much today from Kuwait, because I will never drink bush tea the same. I will definitely savor it the way she did. And I hope to learn more about the types of teas that she presented to us. So I had an enjoyable time, and I hope everyone did as well.
Absolutely. So thank you all. Thank you, Patrice, for being a fantastic co-host. And thank you, Quay Dorman, for being with us. It was wonderful. Thank you very much. Again, Cane Roots Art Gallery, Callaloo Network Culture TV. We're here with you. Thanks again. I hope I didn't leave anyone out. I think I might have left out Broadcasting Tempo Networks. That's who I didn't include, broadcasting from Tempo Networks. So again, visit us on www.canerootsartgallery.com.
I used to watch BET, MTV, VH1, now I watch Tempo. Soca, Calypso, Reggae Dancehall. Don't stall, better get tuned in to the Tempo. Don't have cable, they got an app. Go to your app store, download that. Whether it's tourism, cuisine, or the social scenes, if it ain't Tempo, it's a rap. Who got the Caribbean views? Tempo. Mr. Latest in Caribbean news? Tempo. You tryna cook Caribbean food? Tempo. You know they got the music videos too? Tempo. Who got the Caribbean views? Tempo. Mr. Latest in Caribbean news? Tempo. You tryna cook Caribbean food? Tempo. You know they got the music videos too? Tempo.